And here we are, our first crew of the day is approaching the dock. It's a little bit overcast down here today, but still a nice one. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ranch channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting 79th Street. So Cap comes in, makes his approach. Pretty good pace right here, trying to make sure he's not coming in too hot. Let's see how he does as he approaches the dock. So he's got an assistant in the bow, ready with the lines. And so we're going to go for that port side bow approach to try and get that person off onto the dock. And they go for the reach, and we smack the dock. They're going to wind up sliding. She's trying to hang onto the pole, and she does grab it. Cap stands up for a minute like he's going to try and leave the helm. Our girl is struggling. There you go. She's got the line around the pole. I thought she was going to try and pull herself up, and for a minute there, it looked like she was having a time trying to get that done. But now, here we go. They're good to go, and she's going to get off onto the dock. So here comes our next crew. Kind of like Babe Ruth. My man's calling his shot over there. He actually just pointed to the camera as well, but he pointed to the dock they want to go to, pointed to the camera, like pretty much telling them, like, bro, we want to go to that dock. Whatever you do, the camera's filming. Don't mess up. Easier said than done most of the time, especially when you can see the flags rolling. Yes, they're moving forward, but they got a couple things going here. It is a little bit windy down here today, and they're down a motor on a twin-engine boat, which means they've got offset engines, and that typically makes this a little more complex as well as they try and go in. The boat's not going to quite perform the exact way they expect it to perform as they go in on approach, but let's see how Cap does if he's able to compensate for it and able to get it onto the dock. But here we go. So brake checks the one motor to kind of stall him out and get it to a point where he can try and get it lined up. Not a bad approach at all. So here we go, back into forward gear. And he's already turning in. He's coming in a little hot to be on a single motor. And he brake checks it out, and as to be expected, that wind's kind of grabbed him. And the motor being on that side's not helping. So what's happening is when he brake checks in reverse on that side, it's pulling the bow from the where it's at over to the right. And he's going to go ahead and try and turn this one back in one more time. And his guy is standing in the bow. Looks like he's ready to go with the line. They just are not getting close enough for him to be able to land it. So he kind of looks at Cap, signals to go back. There is somebody on the dock. If he's got enough line, he could toss it to our guy there, as he looked like he was willing to try and grab the line. I'm wondering if there's not enough line. But you'll see there's a gentleman there on the dock, and he points back to the camera again as he realizes it's now on him. So Cap's backing out one more time. I'm not going to give him too much of a hard time on this one. It is definitely more difficult than it looks when you have that single engine down. So he comes back in. He's going to turn back in on the dock one more time. Comes really wide this time. Got to watch out for the dock behind him. And he brake checks it. He probably should have kept going and let his guy get off on the bow. But one of the easier things here is the wind's obviously wanting to push you from the left of our screen to the right. Why not go to that open dock number 4 and let the wind do what it wants to do? So he's trying to back in on it, it appears this time. The bow's swinging around in the right direction. Is our guy ready? And there we go. He's got the toss. And tosses the line to the person on the dock. And our guy on the bow is able to jump out, but it's kind of a mess still as he's trying to walk it up. And there we go. Finally, after several minutes and attempts, our crew does wind up getting it on the dock. Still not sure why they didn't go for the other dock. I mean, if you just let the wind push you in, things would have definitely been a whole lot easier on this one. And here comes our next crew in on approach, as looks like we got some people trying to sort out some lines, as Cap's going to come in and try and determine which dock he's going to go for. So they're going to kind of pause right here for a second. And there's nothing wrong with that. And actually, it's a lesson that some people could learn down here at the dock. If you're not ready, don't approach. Take your time, let everybody get everything ready before you actually make that approach onto the dock. Because if you just go and your guy with the lines or girl with the lines isn't ready, you don't have fenders out, and everybody's scrambling to do this before you actually hit the dock, it just adds more stress and tension to this. So if you can pause somewhere, let everybody get everything done they need done, and then go ahead and make your approach, your life and everybody else's life on the boat will be significantly easier. So we get the camera wave, so they're aware we're here. I know that seems like an ironic one to say, but you'd be surprised how many people roll right past us down here at 79th and don't even realize the camera's over here. It's weird because we're not hidden. We're like right out in the open. So here we go. They're going to go ahead and head down to the last dock, it appears, and try and put this on down there. So Cap's got a pretty decent pace for approach. Goes ahead and makes the final turn to try and line this one up to get onto the dock. And starts making his way in on approach. So we've got a stern line, we've got a bow line. Our guy is not really stepping onto the stern, which is fine. Stay inside the boat. I'm okay with that one. And again, fender's not really ready as they're coming up on approach. Our guy's now standing in the bow and waiting for Cap to get him close enough to get off. Oh, Cap kicks it into reverse hard. The boat kicks out. Look out, there's a jet ski behind him. And they hit the ski behind him and knock it into the dock. I'm not even sure if Cap realized that happened. So I hear somebody yelling. I can't tell if they're yelling about that, but he definitely hit the ski behind him. And our guy in the bow, Cap leaves the helm and says, "Forget you guys. Give me the line. Let me do it." So Cap winds up getting up there and decides he's had enough and grabs the line as nobody was making a move. But Cap, you got to give some instructions sometimes. If you want them to go for it, tell them to go for it. Typically, they'll do so. But they look like they should be good to roll from here, and they'll go ahead and get this one tied up. And speaking of being good to go, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got Boats versus Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.